What's going on, gang? This is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and today we're going to be talking about why the Bitcoin gold rush is in effect. And at the same time, I'm going to be talking about the housing market crash 2.0 that no one's really talking about, no one's really looking at it when it comes to the media because they're focused on so many different things like the election and the bugs and etc. So today I'm going to roll on my bike and we're going to talk about um, ways that opportunities that I see in the industry, and I'm going to share my thoughts with you guys. Before we get started, if you're looking to make money online, or if you need help in real estate, buying houses subject to wholesaling, fix and flipping, being a landlord, then make sure you go to myrealestatedojo.com and check out my courses. We have a big sale going on to help you guys out because, like I said, the housing market crash 2.0 and great opportunities. So let's get started and we'll get rolling. Let me flip this out this way. We're gonna start with Bitcoin first. Because there's a massive pump happening currently. And before I start, I'd like to give the disclaimer: I'm not an attorney, a financial advisor, or a CPA, any of that stuff. I'm just a refugee to America that has been able to follow my dreams and not work for the man, nor to get into debt using banks' money. Okay, and just only imagination, creativity. So I'm just sharing with you guys my opinions only, which is educational, and what I'm doing only. So that said, I'm a big fan of Bitcoin because of all the properties that it possesses, unlike fiat currencies. I can go through some of those real quick, but you can check out some of my other videos. For example, Bitcoin is deflationary. That means that instead of someone printing up more and more and more, there's only 22 million of Bitcoin, and you got to realize that out of that 22 million, 18 million of it has already been mined, and if I'm not mistaken, then there's only about 2 more millions to be mined, and out of those total 22 million, a lot of it has been lost or wrapped into other protocols like Ethereum and smart contracts and things like that. They're not going to be on the market or on exchanges or on people's wallets because they're already locked up, kind of like a subject to wrap. The debt becomes wrapped up. Same thing with Bitcoin, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But one of the things that I was saying about Bitcoin is that it is deflationary and it is a fixed amount. No one controls it, there's no office for it. Okay. Another thing that I really like about it is that everyone around the world can instantly know what 0.000 of a Bitcoin is, or 300 Satoshis is, or 100 Satoshis is, or 10 Satoshis is, because it's also a measuring, if you want to call it, instrument that everyone can already know. It's not kind of like having a Celsius and Fahrenheit and you're trying to figure it out, per se. Hey, not a problem. So that makes, world economic to be able to cross trade, because trade and exchange of goods and services is what brings world peace, because the more we can work with other people that don't look like us, the more we can have understanding of their cultures and beliefs and etc. that may go against our belief system. So that's another reason I like Bitcoin. I like it that it's not, someone can't confiscate it from you. It could be a creditor, or it could be Big Brother, or it can be whoever. They went bankrupt, like a bank that went bankrupt because they give too much bad loans and so on and so on. It's Another reason I like it is because it's the people's money in a sense. Well, it was the opportunity, but more and more and more big corporations and hedge funds and etc. are taking over. Now, talking about big corporations, there are so many big companies, thank you, that are, thank you, that are buying Bitcoin, from PayPal all the way to Square, all the way down to big companies, guys, big companies. MicroStrategies, that's invested at, if I'm not mistaken, $500 million, like $425 million, and bought Bitcoin, and they've already made over $135 million in profits, and just after like only having it hold for just a couple of months. So we can see that with PayPal, Fidelity, trying to do custodian, which means that they're just going to hold your cryptos, to me, which is the dumbest thing, right? It's the dumbest thing ever. The whole idea of Bitcoin is that I can be my own bank, and to allow another bank to hold my stuff, gotta be like crazy, because the whole idea of Bitcoin is also to eliminate the middleman. The middleman is the banks or the PayPals or the Visas, MasterCards, because the great thing, another great feature about Bitcoin, which I like, is that not is Bitcoin also the currency, but it's also the network, right? So it's the money, I should say, not currency, excuse me, it's the money plus the network together. Where, for example, most fiat currencies, we need a network. That's why we have Visa, MasterCards, and these types of things. Where Bitcoin is the network, and it is the currency, if I can, or the money. I don't know which way to say this exactly correct, because I don't think it's a currency, so it should probably be money. So there are so many other reasons why, you know, I like Bitcoin. At first, I didn't like Bitcoin because I didn't understand it, and the more I studied it, the more, you know, I invested money into it. The more money I give away in Bitcoin to my students, to, you know, to my family members, etc., to friends, the more, you know, the light bulb hit me that, hey, this is the future. And the crazy thing is that there's two ways to divide how much Bitcoin there is. I think there's like 7 million or 7 billion people on the planet plus, but I just go 7 billion. If you just divide 7 billion into the amount of Bitcoin there is, 22 million, I'm sorry. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember right now. It was 18 million and 22 million, but it doesn't matter. But let's just go with 22 million. If you divide that into the amount of people in the world, you can see that every individual will get, you know, about 300 Satoshis, which is like 0.000, not a full Bitcoin. But majority of this thing has been mined. I think 18 million has been mined of it. So, so that said, there's only like 2 million left. So if you divide that 7 billion people into the 2 million Bitcoin, then you can really see how much Bitcoin each individual will get if Bitcoin becomes the world reserve currency. Right? And that doesn't even include governments and corporations. That's just like if you just divide it by the individuals. So that's why I've been bullish on Bitcoin. Once I made a predetermination that was false. I thought Bitcoin was trash and a scam. And I started doing my due diligence, and I reversed my positioning. Right? And that was a great thing with me, because, you know, when I learned about real estate, right, I also thought that buying houses at a deep discount, like I can find a motivated seller and I could buy their home at 60 cents on a dollar. What that means is if their house normally sells for 100, I could buy it for 60 cents or 50 cents. I didn't realize that was possible. I thought there's no way, right? At the same time, I didn't realize that not only can I buy a house at a deep discount, but I can also buy houses where I don't have to have the money because the seller will finance me the deal, right? Even if they have a mortgage on their home, they can finance me the deal and become my personal bank. See, I didn't believe that. But once again, one of the difference between me and I guess other people, I'm not sure, is that, even though I make a determination or prejudgments, I'm willing to be flexible like the bamboo tree to do more investigation, because my first impressions can be wrong. And many times they've been right, but many times I've been wrong, and I'm willing to admit it. Right? And I changed my positionings. So that's what's going on with cryptocurrencies, with especially Bitcoin and Ethereum. And a lot of people don't understand about what's going on with Ethereum is that it's the next revolution of computation, if I can say, and where it eliminates more middlemen, like it eliminates the escrow companies. It can eliminate lawyers. It can eliminate mediation people. It can eliminate the court system. It can eliminate so many different positionings in society through something called a smart contract. Right? The smart contract is, something that you can pre-configure the conditionings of the idea that you want to implement, and if all parties agree to it, then it's cast in stone, I guess you want to say. And when those conditions are met, then the money is released, for example, or the deed is released. A lot of people don't realize that cryptocurrencies are changing the world and the way that we are thinking from our banking system. When I say banking, I mean central banking, where a handful of people print all the money for all the world. To the way lending happens, because with DeFi, decentralized financing, lending which is loans, are being done in automatic, without a bank, without a mortgage broker, without the old traditional ways of qualification. Okay? All right, let me see where I got to go here real quick. It's one of these ways. All right. All right, guys, gang. So, if you guys don't know what DeFi is, man, there's a revolution going on where people are making banking and lending automatic, and through Ethereum, through smart contracts. And I'm a big bull on Ethereum too. I stacked up Ethereum when it was $100. I should have bought more, but when I had invested a lot of money into cryptos, and I was down 80%, it was still hard to buy, but I continued buying. But looking back, I could always say I wish I would have done this, but at that time I made all the right decisions because I'm managed risk, but still was in to win. I didn't quit or fold hands, if I can explain that. But shit is changing, guys. Shit is changing big time. That's why banks are coming in. For example, you heard JP Morgan talk about what's going on, man. So you heard JP Morgan talking about Bitcoin's a fraud. A little bit later, you hear them, they're creating their own coin. A little bit later, you hear him saying, oh, Bitcoin's awesome, it's gonna go to 30,000, etc. Same thing with PayPal, all right? We heard the CEOs of PayPal talk shit about Bitcoin, and now today, they're implementing Bitcoin. And one warning about that is that, guys, one thing everyone should think about is when you use PayPal to get cryptocurrencies, you don't get to own your cryptos. Is what I call fake cryptos, because PayPal won't allow you to take your coins and put it into your own private wallet. They don't give you the private keys. They are your custodians. They are your mama and daddy, just like a bank is. And at any time, they can take you away for whatever you want. And I don't like that, okay? So, but that's a whole different story. Now, guys, if you haven't gone to my real estate dojo to get some of my courses, you better check them out, man. Most of my students, when they buy one thing, they continue buying more and more, because there's no fluff. I show you exactly how to make be your dreams, guys. How to exactly be your dreams without a bank loan, without debt. All you got to do is just put the hustle in, and if you have cash, and you could magnify and triplify, 100%fy, whatever it depends what your goals are, your dreams, guys, through imagination, creativity, systems that I've already created, being, in business all my life. Never had a real job, never had a resume, never talked to the man. Just like right now, everyone's at work, I'm just pedaling and having fun. And that's what I'm trying to teach my students. And a lot of my students were in my profit sharing or my abundance club, and they all got free Bitcoin, right? They all got free Bitcoin just for being in those class. And then guess what? Most of them have tripled their money, if not doubled their money. Just shows you that the power of being around people there and rubbing shoulders with people. And it's gonna be fun going down here. What's going on, man? Holy moly. All right, guys, let's talk about the housing bubble crash 2.0 that the media is not really focusing on about, guys. There is a tsunami, a wall of FHA loans, VA loans, and conventional loans that are sitting on the cusp of foreclosure, but they gotta wait for these government restrictions to be lifted. And when that hits, it's gonna be interesting times, because in my opinion, price values of homes are gonna come down, right? And that's why they're doing everything they can to make more people buy a house, right? By lowering the interest rate to all-time low, by doing this, by doing that, to get more people into a loan. Just the other day, I was out bicycling, and I went to go eat somewhere, and a guy was a mortgage broker talking to another friend or client, or I'm not sure, but he was talking loud, and I couldn't but hear him. He was saying that 98%, 95% of all the clients, all the loans he's doing right now are first-time home buyers, right? First-time home buyers, which makes a whole lot of sense, because they want the American dream, not realizing that, hey, they're about to buy at the top of the market because government restrictions of inventory flow and the fear government has caused has decreased dramatically the inventory, which now has caused the prices to spike up. But this is a very short duration before it tumbles down. And all these people that just got these loans are going to have what's called negative equity, be underwater. But on the good side of it, I guess they have ultra low interest rates, you know. which brings the opportunity for investors that want to be in buy and hold investors, right? When I say buy and hold investors, there's two types. One type is to be a landlord, right? And right now there are hardships going on because less and less people are losing their jobs, etc. So that's the flip side of it right now, as being a landlord. And there's the other buy and hold, where what I call note holder, where the investor gets the property through maybe seller financing, or they pay cash for it. But for me, it makes a lot more sense to get the property from a seller by seller financing, where the seller becomes my private bank, so I don't have to qualify or give a large down payment down, or any down payment, and do a non-recourse loan. However, I prefer that method more than going to the bank and getting a loan. Now, going back to the story, because the interest rates are so low and these people are going to be upside down, a lot of them are going to be motivated. And the other second buy and hold option is by being a note holder, which, for example, the investor buys the property from a motivated seller and then turns around and sells that property versus renting it, and wraps that mortgage with a new mortgage and increases the interest rate versus what's the underlying interest rate, and they create themselves a spread, right? A monthly cash flow spread, plus a lump sum of money up front as a down payment, and hopefully some back end money from when the loan is cashed out. So that's the two golden opportunities that I see as an investor in this economy, for me, because I don't like to deal with banks. I don't want to get a loan from a bank. I don't want to go and qualify. I don't want to kiss the bank's butt. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I don't even like banks. And there are so many motivated sellers out there that already have loans. And guess what, guys? Millions of people have lost their jobs. Millions and millions and millions of people have lost their jobs. And they're not getting these jobs back, no matter what they say, because we just had a push to technology. The push we never seen to go through automation. The push that we've never seen to go through online sales, online orders, where commercial buildings are just being left empty. They're building them everywhere, but they're empty, right? Because what's happening is people are moving through the digital world. Not only is the money moving to the digital world at a fast pace, aka Bitcoin and other stuff, but business in itself is becoming digitized. I remember back in 1999, 1998, no business owner knew what a website was or email. And I was doing cold calling to moving companies and selling them websites and hosting and things of that nature, while providing them leads, right? Way before any of these websites were out here that did anything like that. My name of the website was Look for Movers. And what I did, this is like early 2000s, is generate leads through the internet, through SEO, which SEO wasn't even the word at that time, because I don't know if you guys remember, we were in dial-up, AOL, Net Zero. It was it. They were competing at the malls, giving you CDs. Anyways, time has changed, but the push to digitalization is a major effect. And soon, deeds will be digitalized. Real estate will be digitalized. People are going to be able to own percentages of a real estate versus the whole physical thing. If that makes any sense. But I also believe in this crypto called decentralized, or I can't remember the name of it right now. I've been peddling for quite a while. But it's on Coinbase, and it's basically a virtual real estate, you know. And I think that's going to take off too, because more and more of these guys that are playing video games. I mean, for example, my own people in my own family. For example, my sister, I know her, and she's like a grown kid, a grown woman. She plays video games. Her husband plays video games. They play hours. Right? There are a lot of people that play video games, and so they have all these tools and weapons and shields that they see value in it, and there's marketplaces where they can sell these things. So that's why I believe that the digital world will also be a place where, for example, coaches will have, you know, meetings there, and concerts. UFC will be on there. Wrestling will be on there. Sports will be on there. Any kind of thing you can imagine will be on there, and people can just from their home wear goggles and, you know, watch the NFL or watch the wrestling or watch the National Olympics, or and you know, and that isn't only profitable for the organization because now they can sell a whole lot more people, but it's also more enjoyable for the individual because they could do it from the comfort of their own home for a fraction of the price. There's no more airlines they have to drive. There's no hotels they got to stay in, and there's no expensive food they got to pay out. They could just do it for so much more economic right from the comfort of their home, and they could watch anything or be in any concert or take any martial arts class or take any real estate class or go to any college right virtually. And that's crazy. And that's going to be done through this one crypto, I believe, that I this morning actually bought some of it. And I thought, man, this is a good idea, and I'm just sharing you guys what I'm doing. I can't remember the name of it, Decentraland or something like that. I think that's what it's called. I had learned about that in the last crash back into 2017, 2018, but I was like, who's going to use this? But in the pandemic, I thought to myself, well, shit, everyone's pushing to technology so much. I mean, literally, if you don't have a website for your company, you're just, you know, going to be going bankrupt. That's simple, because business is online. And talking about websites, if you guys need a website for your real estate business, hit me up. I got something called the Alchemist Net. We make you the whole sales copy that converts. We make you the videos that converts. We make you a landing page. Everything you need to know for amazing price at My Real Estate Dojo, guys. MyRealEstateDojo.com. It's called the Alchemist Net. Check it out. Tons of people have used it. Super happy. Anyways, drink some tea real quick. So guys, going back to the housing market, very soon they're going to tell you on the news what I just told you months ago about the housing market. Actually, back in 2016, I said that the bubble's too much. Once this candidate situation is over, then the new president will have to, and the media will tell us about how we're going to have massive losses in our real estate. I mean, because eventually they're going to run out of people that were willing to sign up for debt. No matter how low the interest rates are, I mean, when people don't have jobs, how can they qualify? Like the Fed chairman says, you know, they have all kinds of debt instruments right now they've created for anyone to borrow, and they're making it very easy, but you got to be able to, on paper, be able to pay them back. And there's a lot of people that cannot do it, and that's why they need Big Brother to intervene. Man, that was awesome. It's a great day to be alive and to live in America. If you guys are looking to make money online, you need to go check out the new Flip, guys. Revolutionary business idea where you can make money online right from your computer with only $100 capital to start. That's all you need. You don't need a website or learn more shit. You just go and read the course, read the book, watch the videos, and then take action. And the worst thing that can happen is you lose your $100. But the best thing that can happen is you can take your $100 and turn it into $700, what I call 7x, or 8x, or 5x, or 4x, or 3x. Those are the best things that can happen. The worst thing, you can only lose $100. It's unbelievable. I don't know anywhere else or anyone else that can teach you how to be your own boss right from your computer, right online, with just $100. Right? And no, you don't have to sell, you know, multi-level marketing, and no, you don't have to do. Hold on a second, guys. I think I've gone the wrong way. Last time I did this, we got flats on this road, and we had to walk back with the wife and kids for 12 miles to our car. So let me go up here this time. And I'm not talking about just like one flat. I'm talking about one tire having 20 holes in it. I patched up 6, and I ran out of patches. And I still had a couple more tires. Let's see if I can go up and make this thing happen. If not, I gotta make it happen this way. Not sure how many miles I'll get today, but maybe like 60 to 100. Uh-oh. Nice. You can go up. Very nice. Oh, shit. Man, my bike has probably like 50, 60 pounds on it. It's heavy. Plus myself. All right, guys, I'm gonna turn this off because I'm gonna listen to some jams. But thanks for watching. I believe in you. You can beat your dreams. You're powerful. You're creative. You're beautiful. Don't take no for an answer. Much love. And don't forget to check my website out and download some of my self-training courses, guys. Life changing. Peace. MyRealEstateDojo.com.